Hello and welcome back to Laura's Cozy Corner. Today is May the 30th. I believe it's the last day. January, February, March, April. I'm sorry, April the 30th. It's been about a little over a week since I've talked to you guys. I have had a busy past week DoorDashing, and again, the women problems. So I was down a little bit on that. And my dad was in the hospital a couple days, and I stayed with him and things. But he's fine. He's back home. And all we got to do, is just doctor visits and stuff like that. In the meantime, while I was at the hospital, I'm not sure why, but I pretty much knew that Red, my hen, was fixing to die, but I just didn't know when. And sure enough, I had Parker check on him, and she was dead in the coop. Looked like she died on the roost and just fell over, so didn't look like she struggled or anything. When I got home from the hospital, I was still in pain with my menstrual, and I think it was a day or two later after she had passed. But I had to get her, so I buried her, and luckily, there was no smell or anything. I don't know if it was because she was on the sand and kind of preserved or what, but anyway, it wasn't that bad. And so after I got her out, I took out all the straw that was in these beds, nesting boxes, kind of brushed things out, cleaned out the sand, what little poop she had in there, and then started cleaning out the bottom of the run. So I took my big rake, my garden rake, and raked a bunch of it. As you can tell, it was pretty thick in here. But I raked a bunch of it over to here, and I've been slowly shoveling and putting it in my compost bin over there. And just getting this area ready for what I hope to be maybe new chicks, or may even wait until we get like a bigger run built. Thinking about turning my shed over here and cutting a hole out somewhere and having a big nice chicken run all in this space here. Get it all cleaned up, maybe even to the end of that building and down to my garden fence. And this will be a nice big covered chicken run for my next batch of chicks, because this area really doesn't get used much. The only thing that I use this area for is obviously piles of junk, which all this is going to get moved and get used, or it's out here. Shh. And everything in the back of the truck, inside the truck's clean, but everything in the back of the truck, maybe things we just sat over inside, growing trees is over there. But I'll have all that cleaned up, and the truck, I think, will be covered, and we'll have the chicken mess over here. Old tires is going to go. We got a lot of cleaning up to do. And I'm going to be moving my compost bin probably on the other side of my garden fence or something. Someplace won't get too easy. So as you can tell, it was empty, and now it's getting full again with all this chicken run. It was mainly just food scraps that she didn't eat, or lots of grass clippings from last fall that I throw in there to keep her warm in the winter time. She enjoyed it. They enjoyed it. So I got that nice and full. All I gotta do is get it turned a few times, and I don't have you on my stand today, so I'll just wait and do that later. But I've got her buried right here underneath my old grill here. And I told Parker, I said, we ought to have, you know, find some nice big rocks or something and put all of our pets' names on it, and put the rock on top of where we pet them, you know, where we buried them. And I remember where they're at, but, you know, they're first chickens, and I got Hoppy over here, my mom's cat. So we'll just mark them, and it'll be cute little stepping stones inside here, you know. Let's see, what else did I do this past week? Didn't really do much of nothing in the house. So we have been bad people. We've been eating out because I've been sick, out in the hospital, can't get home to cook. My dishes are all piled up still. I mean, I don't have any clean dishes at all because why? Why, Laura, why? Because you sleep in till about 10 o'clock in the morning. You go to work at 11 and you work till 1:30, and you come home, it's time to eat again. So we eat again, and then after you eat, you got a couple hours, which goes by like this because I'm tired. So I rest for about an hour eating lunch. Get a couple hours to do something around the house. Well, what's on my brain when it's pretty outside? I want to be outside. So when I'm outside, I came down here and started checking on, I wanted to show you right quick too, something I saw grow. This stuff is growing around the chicken coop, right? You see this tall stuff? Hank looked it up, and he thinks it's barley, which is a type of wheat, and it's probably come from the chicken feed that I buy, where she kicked it out and it just growed. Look what the Lord has provided. Isn't it something? And this is the chicken feed that I was buying and has reserved. And it's got all this nice different kinds of barley, wheat, I don't know, we're all different kind of seeds in it. So, isn't that cool? And I thought maybe it was seeds from the straw that we had also, because I've been throwing straw over here right around my stump. Let me get my gate door open here. Come on now. Okay. I've got clumps of it growing around my stump over here. It looks real pretty. Also, I was noticing, I don't know if you've seen it in the background, but look at the pretty wild daisies is what I call them, coming up. And I've got what looks like buttercups coming up right here. I'm just letting them grow for now. All right, and a little update real quick. My apple tree is nice and pretty and turned out green. My peas are getting taller. And looky here, that's something new digging in my garden now. We got a mole coming in, digging. That's nice because I have carrots planted all in here and peas. I hope they don't bother them, but anyway. Here's all my peas, and I've got them all pretty much climbing, and look how big and beautiful the leaves are. And, you know, there's still empty spots. I have not planted extra peas in here. But I've got a lot of my peas growing. Nice pretty pea row. And I got carrots planted here. There's a bee I see. I come out just about every day and I see if potatoes are coming up. through my dirt, and they are. Some keep piling up dirt the best I can. Those are my red potatoes. These are my yellow gold potatoes. They have not come up yet. And I still haven't found my labels. They're probably underneath this dirt somewhere. I'll find it as I start covering. So I know I got those potatoes coming. I still haven't planted my russet potatoes yet either. We had a visit to Hank's aunts in another town, so we've been there one day. One day I also had to mow the front yard again, and then I ended up weeding the front yard all around my irises and all that good stuff. And I call them frog bellies. Can't remember what they're really called, but there's a lot of those growing up there too. One of the rose bushes is coming back, and I chopped down the rose bush in my little corner there by the gate, and it's coming back. So all of the yard is not mowed still because the riding lawnmower still needs fixing on it, and I ain't had the time because I also need to take a handsaw and cut down all of this locust trees all up in here, all over. So I'm gonna be cutting all that down, throwing it in my stick pile, which is still in my garden. We'll make mulch out of that. Then I'll be cleaning up the yard and getting some of the junk that I don't need out of here. And we'll mulch up all the sticks and have everything cleaned up soon. Just about all the gutters are done. We have one side that needs to be done still, and we still have raccoons up in the ceiling. So once they get out and their babies are out, we're gonna fix that hole over on the other side. That'll be done. And Hank's been doing little projects here and there. We got the newer boat motor put on the white boat, and the blue boat is gone to another place out of the drive. So that was a big job one day too. We done that sometime last week or week and a half. And I think that's about it. But also helped clean a little bit around the shop. So that was a mouthful, and I know it's a short video, but that's about all the update I can give you. I'm having to work 2 shifts a day so that I can be ready for my bills for doing my surgery that I'm having. I'm going to have the it's called a ablation surgery on my uterus, and hopefully that will help fix a lot of my women issues. So with God's grace, everything will turn out good. With that being said, I'll try to start doing more shorts for you all, give you little tiny updates. Such a beautiful day out. Get out and enjoy it, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye.